Hey guys, it's Jennifer at Navigation Bookkeeping, and I just want to go over a few things. Some of my clients are struggling with the invoice to receive payment to deposit flow, and I just kind of wanted to show you in my sample books here how that works so you don't end up with duplicate payments or transfers or other things in your books, causing you to have balances off and duplicate deposits and all that great stuff. So if you go, first of all, if you're invoicing within QuickBooks, and this comes into play is if you're actually using the QuickBooks invoicing system, okay, you would go in and hit new, and under customers, you would invoice someone, okay, and after you invoice someone, at some point you'll receive a payment, right? So it could be a check, it could be cash, or maybe it's something that is through Venmo or PayPal or ACH transfer or whatever. And those will typically show up here in the bank feed. This is everything that's come over from your bank account, okay? And it's tempting just to hit match and go about your day. But it's not always that easy, and sometimes that can cause problems. So there is a workflow that you want to invoice something. Then you'll receive the payment and you'll put it into undeposited funds. And then from there, you will deposit. And you need to kind of think of the undeposited funds as a drawer in your desk, right? If you've received a check in the mail and you want to show in QuickBooks that you've received the check, you're going to go in and mark that invoice as paid, right? But then it's sitting in your drawer. So just because it's marked paid doesn't mean it's going into your bank account because it hasn't been deposited yet. It's actually sitting in your drawer as an undeposited fund. Okay. So when you receive that, we'll want to go here and under new, receive payment. And as this is a demo, I'm just going to grab whoever comes up. Let's say Cool Cars. Of course, they don't have a payment to go with that. Let's see about Bill's Windsurf. Okay, so here, Bill's Windsurf shop shows that there is an invoice here that's outstanding. And let's say we received a check for $85. You're going to go ahead and put in, first of all, you've already hit the customer information. You're going to put in your payment date. And here's where you would choose how they paid. So maybe it was check or cash, MasterCard, whatever. I'll put check, and you would put the check number in 123. And here's the critical spot. You want to make sure that this says deposit to undeposited funds. Some of your files may default to your checking account or your savings account or even a credit card. And you want to make sure that every time this is going to say deposit to undeposited funds. Okay. And if for some reason your chart of accounts does not have that, it can be added. You could do add new, and it's going to be other current asset. So you would just go into add new and other current asset, and you would call it undeposited funds and save it. Okay. This one has it. If yours did not, that's what you would do. Okay. And then you could use that from now on. So if you put that in undeposited funds, and you check this, or maybe there were 3 invoices that totaled a larger amount. You could say, oh, well, I received $200, and then you would check off the invoices and or put in the amounts that they paid for each of those invoices. Okay, you could do that here. So in this case, we're just going to say it was $85. We're going to check that box, and we're going to save and close. So this is not going into your bank register at this point. It's just going into this undeposited funds account. Okay, your drawer. So let's say now you're ready to go to the bank, or you're ready to start doing a mobile deposit, or however you're going to deposit this into your checking account. At this point, we're going to say new, and we're going to say bank deposit. Excuse me. And if we were doing several, like these look like they were other payments that were put in, right? Let's say we had $2,147.52 that we were going to be depositing from all of these. Okay, let's check all. Okay, if we had that and you were going to do a large deposit of several items, you would be able to do that from here. Okay, if you just have the $85 for Bill's Windsor shop, that's fine too. You're at that point, you would put which account it's going into, the date you're depositing it, and then you would check this off. And if you want to throw a memo in there for anything, you could do that. Okay. And you would save from there. Now I'm going to throw a little curveball at you. Sometimes people will receive something. Let's say it's from PayPal. Okay. And you've marked it as paid in as received payment, and it was $85 that they paid, but maybe PayPal or Venmo or Square took out their fees. So your deposit isn't actually $85 into your checking account. It may be $80 because there was a $5 fee. So if that happens, this is the spot that you're going to add that in. You would say received from Bill's Windsurf shop. Okay. But instead of listing it as, well, this is automatically as a sale, you would say that it's a bank fee. And I'm hopefully, there it is, bank charge. Okay. So, and payment method you could leave, but then at this point you would hit -$5. Okay. So that shows down here your net total that you're depositing is actually $80. It's not 85. Okay. But that's where that would go. So if ever you need to back out any bank charges, because the deposit is less than, typically that's going to be on a credit card or could be an ACH transfer, a non-check or cash. Okay, that's where that would go. And or for some of my performers, let's say you received a check for $85, but really they wrote it for $95 because they gave you a $10 tip. Well, right here, you could change this to a tip account and you would add $10 or whatever I just said. If they wrote you a check for $95, right? Well, you received it and the invoice is paid for $85, but this is where that $10 would go. So you would just hit tips, income, and put in $10 here. Okay. I'm just going to leave that for now. But then you'll see here, then this is the total you're depositing is $95, not just the 85. So it could go either way. So when it says add funds to this deposit, that's what you're doing. You're either pulling out some bank fees or adding in something as a tip that was not on the original invoice. Okay. So that's how it works. So at that point you would hit save. I'm going to delete this spot. You would just save it. Excuse me. And get out of there. And then at that point, depending on your timing, you'll either have a deposit showing on here that has come in from your bank, or you wait a couple days and then the deposit comes through. At that point, if you know you've already entered it in as received payment and deposit, then you can match. But don't get tempted before that. I know it is tempting just to see all these and going, oh, match found, and just want to, tap them all, right? And get them right in. That's what's going to cause the duplicate transactions. We don't want that. So anyway, there's my overview. Hope it wasn't too long, but I really wanted to get in there and make sure you guys understand what's happening. Make sure you have that workflow down. If you have any questions, let me know. Hope you have a great day. Bye.